Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Tarot Time. Happy Saturday. Be rainy Saturday over here. I drew all these cards. The ones on the outskirts, hopefully you can see them, are clarification cards. So, I sit here after I draw the cards sometimes and I just kind of meditate on them and look at them. And for some reason today, I felt like I wanted to draw clarification. Some days I do, some days I don't. And if you notice, my clarifications on my tens are also tens. Okay. So the first card out, which would be the 10 of swords, it looks like it's a really bad card. Okay. It's going to hurt for a little bit, but then it's going to be okay. And it tells us that a cycle has to end for something else to begin. And sometimes people don't like endings for different reasons. Um, they everybody has I don't want to say problems, but everyone has different belief systems. And usually something you can't have two of something. So you can't have two boyfriends, you can't have two husbands. I don't know why, but you can't. Um, you can't have two of some. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just using that as an example, but you can't have two jobs. In other words, at some point in your life, you have to make a choice about something and you have to end one thing if you want to begin with something else. Okay. So when we see the 10 of swords, I kind of feel like the universe said, you know what? We're going to have to steer the wheel of your vehicle right now because we have to end something. And I feel like a lot of you have been beating a dead horse. Like you're trying to make something work that just isn't working. And when do we say when? That's the hardest thing. When do we pull the plug? When do we walk away? Because I think we all have a little bit of that Pollyanna in us that says, no, we could still do something. No, they can still get better, so on and so forth. But sometimes the universe comes in and the universe just puts the final that saying too, the straw that broke the camel's back. And I think that's what's coming down the pike. If it already hasn't happened to some people, it's going to happen. There's going to be the final straw that breaks the camel's back. And I think it's going to be upsetting at first because a lot of it you did not see coming. Look at the 10 of swords. These swords came in through the back. Okay. Some of my other decks, the 10 of swords come in through the front, but these swords have come in through the back. So you didn't see it coming. Okay. And swords again, and it's not a physical thing. So don't think somebody's going to run up and stab you. Um, swords are air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but swords are thoughts. Swords are words. So there's going to be maybe conversations that are going to cut. Like if you had a conversation, um, with your boss and he said, no, you're definitely not qualified to move up a level. You're not getting this promotion. Someone else is. Someone you've been dating romantically. These are just scenarios how it could play into. I mean, I could sit here all day. There's 30,000 of you. God bless you. I can't read for each and every one. This is a collective. So you see if it makes sense for you. I'm picking up energy somewhere. So, the 10 of swords tells us that, yeah, something is ending, but I clarified it because I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. Could never do that to my guys. No way. And the Wheel of Fortune tells us it was universally guided. But let me tell you, what has ended will be a distant memory in your head because you are getting something so much better. And it's really hard to believe because this guy here, the only thing he can look at is the ground. His face is like smushed into the ground. So you're going to not really hear this message today. You may hear it at another time. But if you are going through this right now, it's where your view is from. Okay. So that's how could I put this? So I always talk about that because it has played out in my life over and over again. And it's true. Where is your view from when you are making a decision? Okay. Are you taking this new job without not really investigating it because you're so miserable in your old job that you'll do anything to go to get out of it? So are you leaving, are you going from the frying pan into the fire? Because when your view is from something that's not at a healthy place, you really can't sometimes make decisions. What happens is we're very quick to find something to put a band-aid on that hurt. Okay. So I feel like you might be in a situation where your view was not positive when you chose what you chose, and now you are reaping the 10 of swords. Okay. So something, if it hasn't ended, it's about to end. It doesn't end in the most pleasant way, but it ends. Okay. Because 10 is over. That's okay. It probably brought you some grief. And when you look back at it someday, you'll be like, I'm glad it ended. Okay. And the Wheel of Fortune is great because it tells you that without this ending, you cannot experience the joy that you're about to experience. Okay. So then we get over to the moon. Now, the moon is all about illusion. You know, it's about we think we see what's going on, but we're really not sure. The moon tells us, no, you're not really seeing it. We put the scenario in our head of what we think we see, but in truth, we're not seeing it. And then I clarified this one too. I'm big with clarifying this morning. I got my chariot card, and that tells me we are moving forward because we haven't seen what's actually around us and we know we have to get out of it. Even though we don't know the whole picture of everything, if that makes sense, we know that we have to move forward. So you have two cards that are telling us whatever situation you're in now, or it could have been a little bit ago, you are going to move forward from it and it's going to be productive. I like this chariot because both horses are upright. Okay. I have another deck that shows one horse, or they're sphinxes, I think. One is sitting down, one is standing. Well, you ain't getting anywhere with that. These two are upright, so you are ready to go. The only thing is, each horse's head is looking in the opposite direction. So when I look at this card, I take it to mean that you are going to move forward because you're going to realize what the moon was holding to you. Okay. You're going to start seeing like the sun is going to come out. So when the sun comes out, you're like, wow, I didn't realize there was a big boulder over there. Like you're going to just start realizing things. It's like, I always go to Facebook, but I'm sorry. I've seen so much of it on there. You see all these, everybody puts the good stuff. Rarely you get people to put the bad stuff. So everybody puts the good stuff about their relationship, and you see all these pictures, and you're in the moon phase. Okay. So now you're like, well, I guess they're happy and blah, blah, blah. And they're together and all that stuff. And maybe it's your ex or something like that. And then only to find out that the next thing that happens is the sun comes out, it shines light on it, and somebody has changed their profile from in a relationship to single. I mean, it just, what, it's the nature of the beast. So we can make anything look like anything online. Remember that. The thing is to be authentic. I have to say the truth. I've met some of my followers, and when they say to me, "Oh my God, you're just like you are online," that is such a huge compliment because I never ever don't. I never want to. I don't want. I never want to be inauthentic. Is that a word? I always want to be authentic. Okay. I don't want people to think that, I'm giving something else, I mean, I could get on here and do that. Welcome to Coffee and Tarot. Let's call in spirit and let's be all spiritual. No, no. Basically, I'm a girl from the hood who's polished herself up a little bit. I am who I am, and I'm not about to change. You either like me or you don't. It doesn't matter to me. So anyway, the sun is definitely coming out over the moon. So things that you thought were true were just an illusion, which is good because those illusions, once they go away, you're going on the right path. You're being put on the right path. So then I came down to the 10 of wands. I'm going, damn, lots of tens. Shit's going down. Like every Denise from the block. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are ending, a lot of things are ending. Endings are scary, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. Endings are extremely scary. And even though you're excited to start a new job, even though you're excited with a new relationship, there's always going to be some level of doubt. Okay. There's always going to be some level of doubt. And one thing about this spread, too, that I've noticed is we have two not looking cards. Well, three, actually. If you look at the cards, you see this head's down. This is a card of illusion. And this dude's got his head buried, too. So I think a lot of you out there, probably myself too. Trust me, there's no perfection over here with the Queen of Wands. I mean, I learn every day. And I like to think when I learn, I try to maybe help you guys too. I mean, that's what's life about, right? We're here to help each other. It's not like, oh, I have the secret and I'm not giving it to anyone. That's a load of crap. So when you call me too for readings, I like to know, and I've been saying this for like 30 plus years, at the end of my reading, you feel empowered. Okay. I want you to walk away with some tools. That's what I want you to walk away with. I want you to walk away with some tools, not just knowing, oh yeah, oh, she said Billy Bob's coming back. I want you to be empowered. Okay. Because that's going to help you grow. I want you to really believe in yourself. Okay. That's my goal, is to make you believe in yourself, because trust me, I've walked a walk, and some days I do look where I am now, and I have my setbacks. And recently I had a big setback with something, but I have my pity party. And then, you know what? I learned to flush it and then I move on. And that's what I'm doing now. So when we get to the 10 of Wands, this person has a burden, but I think you've not been realizing it for the longest time, because if you acknowledge it, then you kind of got to do something about it, right? So again, maybe you didn't want to end something, whatever it is, you didn't want to end it, and you refused to see what was actually happen. But once you take your head and pick it up and end it, it's better, because now you have the 10 of cups. Isn't that the weirdest thing? All these tens, like, it just freaks me out. I sat here quietly. I'm just sitting at my kitchen island, drinking my cup of coffee, no noise, just Luna playing with her little thing of corn. I got her this stuffed piece corn thing. It's so cute. I think it must have catnip in it because she's like madly in love with it. Um, and I'm just like, I said, Spirit, tell me what you want me to relay for a message today. So anyway, once you give up this, which you are going to, trust me, you're going to have this. You're going to have the 10 of cups, which is like the utopia. It could be anything. It's the perfect job, the perfect relationship. Perfect doesn't mean it's perfect for everybody. Okay. Perfect is for you. What will help you grow as a person? What will make you happy? Because everybody has different likes and different things. You follow me? Yeah, you follow me. So then I came up with, after all this is said, and this dude, he takes these wands, right? And he sticks them up and he grabs one because he's realizing, I only need one to succeed. I don't need this burden of all this stuff. I just need one. And then he succeeds and gets recognition, and love comes his way. Now, it doesn't have to be the physical love. Okay. It could be love of a job, love of a project. It could be whatever you're in love with. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can't read for all 30,000 of you. Come on now. Don't be silly. But what it tells us, this reading, when I looked at it, and it really had a strong impact on me this morning. I hope it has an impact on you. Please put it in the comments. Oh, now you could put in your comments pictures because I was scrolling and someone said, put a picture of your cat. And oh, you don't have to ask me twice to put my baby in there. So, what I think this message is telling us is there is something you probably know you should walk away from. There's probably something that's finished, and the universe is going to help finish it for you. And then you're going to realize success. But there's going to be this period of you feeling like, the 10 of swords, like you feeling this failure that it's over and not being able to look on the horizon for something new. It's like my daughter had said, oh, this was years ago. She was young, early 20s. She was dating somebody and then they broke up. I shouldn't laugh. Then they broke up and she looked at me. She goes, well, I guess I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I'm like, you're 21, 22? I don't know. And it's just funny because you can't take one part of your life and base it on forever. Think about that. Because one thing didn't work out doesn't mean something else can't work out. I want you to really think about that, and that's where your faith has to come in because all of us, we're all guilty of just looking at life like it's a snapshot. And like, that's it, what's ever in front of us. Sometimes we can't see the outskirts. That's obviously why you seek out a reader. And I am still doing personal readings. People say to me all the time, I just thought you never read anymore personally. No, I do. Visit my Linktree. I do personal readings. Um, so you might be where you are. I don't know. It could be coming down the pike, but this is very now energy. This is very now energy. And something that really needs to go is going to go, but it's going to be replaced by something amazing, something amazing. And only you know what needs to go in your life. Um, so that's it for today. Today is Saturday. I will try to be back tomorrow. I have like this massive project this week and I have a dumpster in my driveway. And I'm really like sorting and organizing because I'm having some remodeling done, but my daughter's moving back. So I want like, she has a little space in my lower level, which is nice, like a little apartment thing. So she's going down there. I tease her all the time. You'll have to sign your lease. So, but anyway, this is where I stand with this. I think you're going to feel a little difficulty, but you know what? In the end, it's definitely going to be worth it because there is something that needed to end. And sometimes, no matter how dysfunctional something is, it's still ours. It belongs to us. And, you know, it's hard to say when do we pull the plug on something that we love, whether it's a project, it's a person, it's a job, it's a friendship, when do we really realize? Because I can only speak for myself when I'm like the queen of giving second chances. I always say that is the reason I was in a very unproductive marriage for 22 years. But I've stopped doing that because I've realized how precious time is, and that's something else everybody should come in contact with. They should realize, you know what? My time's very precious. Like if you sit down and you think, where was I a year ago? A lot of times I find I always look at my memories on Facebook because it does take you back a year exactly to the day. And just from your post and whatnot, you could kind of see where your head was at, you know? And I think that's a good thing to revisit the past sometimes. I think it reminds us. It reminds us of our failures. Um, it reminds us of how we got out of our failures, and it reminds us of our growth. And we all have the potential to grow, and we all have the potential to do better. And, there's a lot of novices out there too. A lot of you are starting over again, whether you're just getting divorced, whatever the case may be. You're older, you're an empty nester, whatever the case, you're at this starting over point. And I hope these readings kind of help guide you because I've done that. I've started over a few times in all different situations. Not saying I always made the right decisions, but I think sometimes with a lot of faith and knowing you can rebuild, you can move forward. So hopefully these readings help you. But anyway, Today is Saturday. This is coffee and tarot time, and I am the Queen of Wands. Everybody, have a great day.